And we are live. Hi. How
Hello,
are you, Sumao?
hi.
I love my gang. You guys are fearless. I was texting, I was sharing with Sumao. It's like, listen, I want to do this walk and talk. We discussed so many ideas on, offline, but I think we should start getting these ideas live, and that's how we kind of like happened. So I decided to go on my morning walk. It's going to be my first morning walk and talk. And Sumao was so kind to share with me this morning hour. Hi, Sumao.
Hello. Hi, good morning there. Thank you for
Good
inviting me.
afternoon.
This has been like amazing, amazing.
Tell me, I saw you got inspired by the planner that I put together on the mural board. Tell me about
Absolutely.
it.
I think I think it's so good to see things visually because we keep on planning things, we keep on thinking that we will do it, but when you have the hard proof that whether you have done it or not, it kind of like hits you like, yeah, I have got to do this. That's it. So for me, the habit tracker has been like very good. Like I'm going to start with it today. In fact, I have to like, start with the intentions. Like what are some of the things? Because like in terms of health and all, I have really let myself go. So I
Your
kind of have
camera, move your
to,
camera a little bit, yes.
yeah. So I kind of have to even think of what are going to be my goals. So yeah, it's a process, but I think like it's amazing to have things on the dot. And I'm going to combine it with the post system that I'm doing. So
Hmm.
when you kind of see like whether you have done it or not, you have thoughts coming into your mind. For example, imagine you were doing exercise for half an hour. So what are the thoughts that have come into your mind at that time? And I'm going to start writing with that. Or like, while you're doing the exercise, maybe just record the audio because we have so many thoughts when we are cooking, we are walking, and we don't tap into those. And if
Nope.
tapped, those are like, sources of our own posts. Those are like our own authentic thoughts, better than any content which is out there.
Yep, yep. I had a big shift in my mindset I think like months ago. Instead of like focusing on creating, you just document what you do, right? And
Yeah,
what is the system that we can create to document our journey? And
yeah,
the
yeah,
planner was transpired by Nadia's and mine habit tracker weekly that we did live on on Sunday. And I'm like,
yeah,
well, what do I do to prepare for that live? I need to have a better system to see how my day was. And yesterday
yeah,
I woke up like at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, let me see if I could put that thing together, right? And I asked our gang if anybody wants to do it, kind of like tracking together live. Well, you don't have to share with the world, but you could implement the system and just tag along and learn. And yesterday, I'm
yeah,
going to
of
be honest,
course.
I didn't do anything. I was so tired at the end of the day. For some reason, my energy level is so low.
I
And
understand.
this morning, I opened the tracker and I reflected on yesterday, like, oh, what happened? And the way I designed it is actually pretty cool. It forces you to even put like any particular story that from yesterday that you would want to remember, right?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and as I started going through item by item on a sticky note, my gosh, love me some sticky notes. I got inspiration, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let me finish setting up a YouTube channel. And on that feeling and excitement, I basically went and set it up my YouTube channel. By the way, we just
I,
found
I, I, I
out.
saw it. I
We
saw it
just
like, I saw the YouTube channel. Yeah, I have got to like, sit down and create it. But I mean, it's amazing. Like all the things that you're doing and us following you has
yeah,
been
just tag
amazing because,
along. Just tag
sometimes
along.
we have like, a lot of ideas, but we need this push and momentum when we see people doing things and we're like, okay, I'm also going to like, tag along and do it. So it kind of inspires you. When you see action, it inspires you.
With the YouTube, one of the reasons I also wanted to set up a YouTube to share my journey, but also to do this live walk and talk kind of thing, because it's not the
Yeah.
first time we're doing this video conversation.
I know,
And
I know.
I was like, somehow let's do this live and talk on YouTube. Okay, set it up, but then we could do it on a Substack. And then you could actually connect your Substack to YouTube. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that was not easy, guys. So if you are planning to do the YouTube, make sure to figure out how you set up the channel, because there is a personal channel and there is a brand channel. I'm trying to set it up as a brand channel, and
okay.
my Substack email account didn't match the YouTube email account, so I had to change. I wasn't able to figure out, so I had to change the Substack email account, and that was not easy
Okay.
even to connect. And then I'm like, okay, let me do a YouTube live, and I put the press on YouTube live to see what is the process. And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
as a new channel,
You
you
need
need to
50
have a
subscribers
you need at least not subscribers 50 views. So even
or
if you
50
could,
views.
and
So
I
you
was
have
like,
to, like, create some things, and, between us, we can,
right,
do the 50
right.
views. So
No,
yeah, you
it's
can be
just
doing
it's just interesting because here's the lesson from these little hiccups. What you think is gonna happen is not gonna happen. It's like a Murphy law.
Yeah.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, because I was following the steps in the video, right, on the training how to stop your YouTube channel, and I thought it was nice and easy. It's not. It's taking
It's
longer
not.
than than anticipated, and you would think pressing the hit and record and you're good to go. It's not as well. So the theory from practice and implementation differs a lot. That's why in the studio that we are hanging out, we actually focusing on the implementation. Even though I didn't finish the entire YouTube setup channel video,
It's okay.
but at least
So
it is live.
it is live. It is live, and this is one thing that I have realized. When it comes to this whole thing about habit tracking, and all of it, we kind of overestimate what we can do in a day, but we underestimate what we can do in, like, a month. So we overestimate, like, okay, in this day I'm going to do this, and then you are like, okay, I'm frustrated and I leave it. But if you think of things, doing 1% as better, as James Clear says, or
Right.
as habit tracking goes, you kind of see, like, yeah, over the period of 4 weeks I have actually accomplished so much. So it kind of gives you a mental boost as well, like, okay, yeah, I have accomplished this. So don't get disheartened that you overestimated what you could do in one day. But I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
started it, follow along. Maybe sometimes, given our life, which is very busy and we are doing so many things, we need a bit more of time. But that thing that, I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to create a habit out of it, is what finally makes a difference. And I absolutely am starting to come to this realization that I used to, like, overthink and overestimate what I could do in a day, and then, like, the whole frustration that I haven't done this, and then, like, I lose my patience, like, oh no, I haven't done this, like, okay, no, 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 chill.
Listen, I really love how you're easygoing in the sense I'm sending you like occasional message. Listen, let's go on the Substack Live. She's like, let's go. I'm like, I love this. If
Yeah,
before
I
maybe
remember
like
not all my weeks are the same, because
I
sometimes I
know,
feel this at home, like, oh my god,
no,
my brain is like,
it was a good time and it was a good timing. So for
yeah,
me, for the skill build study, because I want to share my journey, I'm focusing on setting up systems so
yeah,
that creating and documenting the journey is easier. Substack is a written platform, but also I'm working on improving my communication skills.
yep.
Yesterday, I don't know if you saw in our community chat, I shared a video. There's four levels of wealth,
Oh
and the
yes,
top
yes, I did.
and the topmost level of wealth is has to do with the communication and imagination, right?
Yes,
And I like how the person said that they don't teach you that in school. They teach you like, oh, work harder to make more money or whatever you need to do. And it's not about work smarter. Nobody focuses on the communication. So that
absolutely,
YouTube is part of the communication thing that I need to master. Being able to articulate the knowledge, being able to learn how to inspire people, right? Because that is kind of like the ultimate destination is to inspire people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, like, the work you have started is so inspiring. People who know you, who are in your close circle, I can tell you, like, we are like mind blown. We are mind blown with
I
all the
need
system that
I
you're
need
doing.
I, I need friends to do that with. It's so much more fun, like to do it with you, with Nadia, with
The same
Dorothea.
here.
Like essentially, you choose the direction you want to go, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing: writing, documenting, video, right? So,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the writing system that you're working on. I know we took
Yes.
a boot camp with Danko, the most recent one. That's how we met. And tell me about what are you building?
So basically, right now, since I've absolutely started with the whole content creation system, I'm absolutely new to writing. Like, writing scares the shit out of me. I'm more of like I draw things of the sort. So for me, it has been like I always had this fear of writing, but I mean, the biggest takeaway from the boot camp has been that overcoming this first fear of writing, having the structures that Dan has created gives me like, okay, templating things absolutely helps. Like, okay, if I
I love
have this like
templates.
10 templates,
I
yeah.
I love templates, standard operating
So
procedures, playbooks, everything
yes.
that could be like standardized. Oh my gosh, love it.
Yes. So even though I honestly I couldn't finish the whole course, it's there for me, but I mean I could only go to the point of newsletters. I'm not ready to write a newsletter, but I think starting with posts is great. And I was talking to Nadia. She's also like, gonna help me with the threads, carousel kind of thing. So I mean, first of all, having these two is great. And if I start writing on Substack, I think in a couple of months or so, I will be ready for a newsletter of sorts. So I think, coming to this point where, as Myron was saying in the video, like, mastery is the thing. You come to a point of mastery where something becomes effortless and it doesn't take any more of your brain space or your anxiety, is where you start kind of taking back your time, because finally, like, even while you're doing something, your brain can be active to an extent to be able to think about more things. And for me, that started with doing a 30-day 31-day art design challenge, because I was so stuck, with fear that I haven't created for I don't know how many years, and how can I start it. So initially it was like every day, oh my god, what am I going to draw, what am I it used to be such a big friction. Now I'm like, okay, it's more like a meditative task right now. I sit down 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm not drawing like a Picasso or Monet or anything like that. It's just like simple designs. It's more like swirling prints,
I
things like
think
that.
I think
Yeah.
just document and reflect. When is
Yes.
your when do you feel like most inspired? I know some people create at night, some people create during the day. I love early mornings. I have sleep issues, I think, but I wake up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and from
I do the
4,
same, but then if
yeah.
I don't sleep, I get like so cranky. But I mean, that's the time. Like yesterday night, I was awake, I think from 4, and I was like thinking and thinking, thinking and thinking. Like I go crazy. Like I should be doing
So,
something more creative with that.
so Ma, when is your most when do you get inspired? Like, when is the quiet
Just
time
like
for you or
when I
creative?
wake
In the
up in
morning
the middle of the night
or in the middle
and
of the
get
night?
started.
It's funny. It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she goes to sleep and she puts a little notepad next to her bed, and she has also a notepad in the bathroom. So and she literally shared with me that sometimes she wakes up from this exciting thought and she just writes it down
Yeah.
because when she goes back and wakes up, she doesn't remember. And then
Yes. Yes. Oh
that
my
can
God,
also
it's so.
happen in the bathroom, right? When you like doing
Yeah.
something there and there's some inspiration. I noticed that sometimes I have inspirations during the taking a shower, so I need to figure out.
Oh,
How
yeah.
how to
Showers.
know that.
Showers. Yes. Oh my God. That's a damn inspiring thing. I mean, you know what? I have started actually taking down notes on Cortex. Even when I wake up, and so last night I took some notes on Cortex. I just like post put like just the connection. I post something, but I keep it there. The thing is that I have to really sit down and organize my second brain. That's something I have to work on. Creating systems is what makes you successful, because right now my cortex is like absolutely all over the place, but I have to sit down and do it. Even
I
my computer
only
needs to be cleaned.
I'm still getting a hang of the application, the Cortex app. But what I really love about the app, Dan created a template on one pager where you could see Sunday through Monday and like little toggles. You can create your own
Yeah,
element,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he actually put together, like this is what you post, kind of like a mini space for you on whatever the social media platform you are on. What I did, I created a toggle called journal. So, and I also
Mm-hmm.
bookmark it on my Google Chrome. As my day goes, let's say, something happens and like I want to make a note of it, I just click on it and I either drop in the journal section and then turn it later, or I put on the mirror on a sticky note some ideas so that I don't forget. And the key is one of the mistakes I used to do, let's say I have an idea and I would try to make a freaking essay out of it.
Yeah,
Well, in fact, and then like newsletter out of it, right? And then it's like a rabbit hole. It's like it's unsustainable because there is so
yeah,
many ideas that goes through our mind. So sticky note solution for me works very well, and also bullet points in the Cortex app. That's another way. So I cross reference sometimes depending on the inspiration. So the idea, I guess, the main conversation we are here today to discuss what are the best ways to capture those ideas. I don't think there are issues with ideas because we are walking content. Like right now, creating content. I'm just on my morning walk, having a coffee
yeah,
conversation. Technically, when I come home, I could put this thing, download this video, and pick up, use transcript to analyze what kind of key points we discussed. And there you go.
yeah.
I just find lately that talking is faster versus, let's say, typing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's the same problem with me, because the speed at which I think is not the speed at which I type or write, and I get frustrated. And the way, my thoughts keep going from like problem solutions to examples. I mean, the reason I really started loving the app of Cortex is because you can you're right, you're not writing in like one essay. You're writing, in terms of problem solutions, and that's the same thing I have actually taken to the Miro that I'm creating, because I also love the idea of thinking in terms of sticky notes. I mean, it really resonates with me. And that's why I'm like, whatever problem, like, first you think of these, even like maybe I will start doing like a visual kind of a thing so that
Yep.
I can be able to make like carousels out of it. So, whatever, like, one idea that you have in half an hour, you can sit down and you can create like a bunch of posts from it, because pumping them through that templates and going through that whole thing, like you have endless amount of content. And I mean, I started with the chat gpt creating a bot. It's not refined, it's not very good, but I mean, I have actually fed the templates to that, and it has started to give me like good results. Like, if I say like, okay, this is one thing that I've thought, like, use the templates given and come up with some ideas, and then like, from there you start refining on like, yeah, my idea is going in a nice place. The only thing is like, sitting down and doing it. But I mean, system wise, I think I'm coming to a very good place, which I
That's
didn't
awesome.
do before.
So you mentioned that you have a podcast to prepare for today.
Yes, in fact, like in half an hour.
Oh wow! Well, you said this is a warm up, warm up, warm up. Well, we are warming you up for that.
Yeah, I
That's
like,
pretty
I'm
cool.
going to like, things in one day. Like, oh my God, holy moly.
Tell me a little bit about the podcast. What you guys are going to be talking about?
So I mean, I don't really have speaking like points, but I've listened to a couple of episodes of this podcast. It's a very new podcast by Raleen,
Hmm.
and she has started a Substack, and it's called 50 Tabs Open, I think. Yeah. So her focus is more on like ADHD and uh, like, different thinking people.
Okay.
So although I'm not diagnosed, but I think like, I do have something going on up there.
So
So
okay,
so
you
I,
need to.
I'm
You would want to prepare, like you would want to prepare for the at least couple of ideas, just the three main ideas how you can contribute to the
yes,
podcast. If I would do that, I would take a look, at the description, what the person is passionate about, what kind of information they're looking, right? Use that information to
yes,
to
yes,
brainstorm at least one idea that you could make her journey, more valuable, or
yeah,
maybe somehow you could help her in her journey, right? See what kind of
absolutely.
knowledge you have, what problem she is facing, and see if you could help her with the solution one or two to help her on her journey. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I did think about some of those things already, but I have listened to a couple of her podcasts, and she goes like very um she asks the questions, and it's very open ended. It's a very friendly conversation, not like a structured one. So the conversation kind of flows, and I really loved it. Like, I listened to a couple of them, and it's very inspiring, like very heart to heart conversations, and very
is the
inspiring. So I'm
is the
really looking forward to that.
is the podcast on Substack or some other platform? How are you guys
It's
doing
on
it?
it's on Substack. It's on Substack,
Is
and it's called 50 Tabs Open.
Oh, that's so cool. When I post this live video, just drop in the comments the link to the podcast that you guys are going to
Sure.
be doing. And absolutely, this could be your start of your newsletter. When you think of the newsletter, don't think about like any particular structure. Just have a
Yeah.
beginning, introduction, the main part, three things. Focus always three. Brain processes easy in three parts.
Yes.
You will
Yes.
see everywhere three, 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 sometimes four, but
Absolutely right.
three lessons and just like one or two sentences on those three lessons, and then the conclusion, right? And it's okay to be, a beginner. It's okay to say, listen, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm trying, because some people don't even try. And I feel like
I confess that every day on Instagram. I don't know what the hell am I doing, but I'm doing it.
exactly, because some people are just this is my one of my favorites, especially like Instagram or Twitter. Sometimes I find those platforms are very toxic. Let's say
Oh
somebody is
yeah, that's
working and
true.
creating content, and you will see so many negative comments. And it's so funny. Most of the time, those negative comments are from people who have no accounts, who have no picture even,
Yeah,
right?
faceless people.
Faceless. So,
Like, they just like spread too much of toxicity and hatred and
so
negativity everywhere.
exactly. So it's so funny because I'm like, well, excuse you, sir, Mister. I believe like in a way, if you have nothing good to share, don't share.
Yeah, that's
There
true.
is a lot of problems in the world. So many. We don't need more negativity. And when I look at these things, I would never comment anything bad on anybody because I know how much work it is to build.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Anyone who has done this thing knows that it is not easy. I mean, it looks effortless on the outside when you have reached a certain point and people look at that
it's a
point,
lot.
but starting it is, I'm sure like it's scary and shitty for everybody.
Yeah, and like you're not born knowing all of this stuff. Things are evolving. Where we're supposed to learn, like the schools don't teach. Forget about like if I
No,
go back to like okay, I graduated college back like 15 years ago, and whatever they learn is so obsolete. Like
absolutely,
you
absolutely.
are
That's true.
everything is developing. So who created that norm that you have to know it all? We are all figuring it out together. So we need to be more supportive of each other. It's a learning
Yeah,
journey. It's just some people are sharing what they learn in public, which helps you, the audience, save a lot of time, money, and mistakes. I just feel
yeah,
like we need like a little bit of gratitude would go a long way.
yeah. You say that absolutely right. I think like, I mean, there's a lot of things that go viral, but they're like the brain rot.
It's
People
not
love to
about
see those.
Sumao,
But I mean,
it's not about what is the point of virality if you don't know anybody who is in your circle, right? I feel like
yeah,
that's why Substack is kind of like very different because it is a true one-on-one connection.
that's true.
You do not need like millions. I mean, if you get the amazing, but if you could make an impact on one person at a time over the, let's
Yes.
say, one connection a day, a good conversation, over the year, that's 300 people, 350, whatever,
Yeah.
365, right? My math. 365 people. The next year, double it, triple it, and sometimes you will get more than two, and that's how it goes. I would like to end our conversation with this. Let's
Yes.
make, let's inspire one person at a time. So Sumao,
Yes, you
I
have
know
inspired me. Like,
you
I'm going to
gonna.
start this abstract life, abstract journey from May
Oh
1st.
yeah,
That's my
yeah.
challenge, my 12
This
week
is your,
challenge.
this is
There
your
you have done it.
first.
Like, you have challenged me and you have inspired me.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, this we just popped a cherry, right? This is your first time doing Self Talk Live.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, this is the first time doing anything in Substack. Like, I'm so, so, so new to Substack. You have no idea. Like,
it's
I'm absolutely
okay.
like, thumbs.
Just do something every day. Like today, you've learned a little bit of how to do the live, right? So you saw it's not that
Yes.
scary. You didn't die,
No,
right? Exactly. So tomorrow, you probably will want to do a newsletter because you'll have so much interesting things that you would want to share. And
absolutely.
set up your I would update the picture with your full
Yeah,
face,
I will.
right?
I will. I have to write the
And
bio as well. So yes, with
and you
that,
could
I think
put
like
and you just can put on your bio, I am trying to figure out Substack. Join me. That's all. Right? Pressure is off. That's okay. You don't have to figure out it all on your own. And now,
yeah, I
anyhow,
think you take a lot of pressure off yourself when you stop pretending and be real. And this, like it or not, that's it.
anyways, thank you for joining me for my walkie-talkie.
Thank
I'm
you
wrapping
for
up
asking me to.
to building to what matters together, my friend. I would do my
Absolutely.
heart, but I can't. You know, I'm holding a little thing.
Neither can I. But I mean, that's going to be our thing.
Alrighty, my friend. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Yes. Bye bye.
Mwah.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.